Hello everybody and good afternoon and welcome to my Tuesday morning Facebook Live on a Wednesday afternoon. I am so very happy you are here with me today. Yesterday was just full of appointments and phone calls and friend visits and a networking group meeting. And I knew I just could not swing getting on here yesterday. So I appreciate you bearing with me and letting me come on today. I like that Wednesday is kind of always my backup. So that works for me. I hope it works for most of you. Let's see what I want to tell you. Today is Wednesday, November 20th, 2024. It's a bit coolish here in Middle Tennessee. Cold front moved through. Hi, Gloria. And the temperatures are supposed to drop continually all day, and there's a cold wind out there. So I am just happy to be inside. Although we have high clouds and sunshine, so it's a beautiful day out there. But yeah, I'm still happy to be inside right now. Let me see. I am Maureen Rolfes, also known as the Crazy Stamping Lady. I have been an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator for over 27 years. Hi, Shannon. Oh, I bet it's cold there too. Yeah, wow. And I love what I do. I am coming to you from Murfreesboro, Tennessee in the United States. And I am here to give you tips and tricks on card making and paper crafting, hopefully to make it easier for you and more joyful for you, and then to encourage you to send all your beautiful creations to someone else to bring some joy to their day. Please be sure to say hello in the comments if you're watching. I love when you stop by. I love the comments. I feel like I'm right here with you when I read those, and I so appreciate it. So please, please comment. And if you're watching on the replay, let me know that too. As always, I will be drawing from all of the comments that you leave today through midnight tomorrow and giving away the card that we make today, so you can comment as many times as you like. Each comment counts as an entry. I love to know what you think, and if you have questions, please put them there. I promise to get back to you after the video and answer any of your questions. Congratulations to the winner of my last card, Linda Marshall. Linda, I had to redraw because the winner that I had picked never got a hold of me with their address. So I redrew this morning, and Linda, you're my winner. That is that glittery, green, sparkly Christmas tree card that we made last time. So that will be on its way to you in the mail soon. Also, if you can share my video to your homepage, to a crafty group, to a crafty friend, anywhere you share me, just let me know when you do that, and I will give you a bonus entry toward today's card. I think that's about it. I'm going to take you down to my table. You'll see my sunshine out there on this cold kind of wintry day, or at least fallish day. And I'm going to make sure I'm in the right place here and everything is showing. This is me, Maureen Rolfes, also known as the Crazy Stamping Lady. You can email me at crazystampinglady@gmail.com. My Facebook is facebook.com/Crazy Stamping Lady. My YouTube is under my name, Maureen Rolfes, and you can shop with me at stampingwithmaureen.stampinup.net. If you shop with me in the month of November, please use my hostess code. This hostess code brings me the most back in rewards for your orders, and it allows me to give the most back to all of you. So I really appreciate it when you do that. If your order is over $150 pre-shipping and handling and tax, then don't use that code, because in that case you will earn hostess rewards of your own. I have one card to share with you. This is from my friend Karen in Arizona, and it is a Thanksgiving card. She made this adorable little turkey. I'm trying to think, I'm pretty sure this is completely made with the Ladybug Punch. This is the Ladybug body from the Ladybug Punch, and then the leaves are, the feathers are the wings of that ladybug. What a cute idea. I love it, love it, love it. The little feet, I'm not sure. They may be from our old owl punch. I don't have that one out here handy to look at, but I think they might be. And then Gobble Gobble in this beautiful paper, decorated inside, just beautiful. Thank you so much, Karen, adorable, and those little googly eyes just make him. So he will be proudly displayed on my mantle for Thanksgiving. Let's see what else we got going on here, peeps. Okay, my online class is closed. Those kits have been sent out to all of you, and you will be receiving a Facebook invite soon to the private group where we will host that online class. So watch for that Facebook group invite and make sure you get in there. So that'll be great. My in-person class, I still have a couple openings. This is going to be held at my house on Saturday, this coming Saturday. So if you live at all in the Murfreesboro area and you would like to join me, just let me know. I will send you full details, and then you can confirm whether or not you want to be a part of that class. My free monthly virtual card classes, every month I offer a free virtual card class with kits to those who order from me as a thank you. When you place your order and you use your hostess code, or if your order is over $150 pre-shipping, handling, and tax, you will earn a kit. So for a free kit and class, you need to place a $50 order and you'll get 3 cards. A $75 order, you'll get the 3 card kits plus a bonus project. And a $100 order will get you 3 card kits, a bonus project, plus a half a pack of an embellishment. A reminder that most of these things are retired, but that the cards we make are clean and simple and easy to do, and you can duplicate them with what you might have on hand. Any smaller order will still receive a handmade card from me as a thank you, and all orders will be entered into my monthly order prize drawing, where I give away 3 prizes from all the orders that were placed that month. This December class will get mailed out by December 1st, and it's for the orders in November. And then we will hold that class on Monday, December 9th at 11 o'clock in the morning, and I will send you reminders on that if you've earned it. Catalog selector, I am currently in the process of finalizing and catching all the catalogs I want to send out to my customers directly from Stampin' Up. By doing it through them, you get them the earliest, and that makes me happy if you can get them a little bit earlier. So if you have ordered from me in the last 6 months, which would be between June 1st and November 26th, because I'm going to finalize it on the 27th, a catalog will automatically be mailed to you. You should have it in December, at the very latest, very early January. It'll come right from Stampin' Up. It'll have my name on the back, so you'll know it came from me. And it'll be the spring mini catalog as well as our celebration catalog. So much fun going on. If you are a brand new follower of mine, haven't ordered, aren't sure that you're going to order, but would like a catalog, email me at crazystampinglady@gmail.com. I'll have a little information form for you to fill out, and then I will send you a catalog. But the ones I sent won't get sent out until the beginning of January, so you'll get those just a little bit later. Okay, today we are going to do a fun, easy, reproducible vintage card. But we are going to use a few different products for it. And the way I came up with this is I actually just went out on Pinterest and searched on vintage Christmas greeting cards. Not Stampin' Up, not handmade, anything, just to get a feel for what they look like. And then I put together some of our product to make a card that I felt had a real vintage look to it. So we are going to be using the sentiments out of the Reindeer Fun, because the way the font is on here is very similar to the fonts that were on the old time vintage Christmassy cards. So we're going to use the sentiments out of here, and then we're going to use this Birchwood 3D embossing folder. So that whole Reindeer Fun sentiment set, everything is on page 27 of the current mini catalog. The Birchwood embossing folder, as well as the Natural Tones linen thread, we're also going to use those today. I just like the muted tones of them, and the Birchwood again was a really similar look to a lot of the things I saw on the vintage cards. So those 2 items are on page 31 of the current mini catalog. And then the final thing that we're using is going to be the Snowy Scenes dies, and actually one of the stamps out of the stamp set. So again, what I'm going to do is going to give it that vintage feel, and these dyes worked perfect for it. So I'm just combining products. Just a reminder to you to look at what you have in your stash and combine them to get the look that you want. You do not have to just go, oh, reindeer fun, I have to use everything right here. Combine those things and make them your own. And then the annual catalog is still going strong. You got lots of months left on this, but I just don't want you to forget about it because there is so much fun stuff in here. So make sure you check that out, as well as online exclusives and clearance rack and all of that are online. So much goodness. Okay, guys. So for today's card, I'm going to grab out the pieces that I prepped for it. We have a basic white envelope, and then I did type up the directions, so I'm going to tell you kind of what we have on here. We have a Misty Moonlight A2 base. A2 means that it's 8.5 by 5.5, and then I scored that at 4 1/4. We have a basic white layer that is going to go on the inside of the card, and that is 4 inches by 5 1/4. Plus a little strip of designer series paper. Oh, and I don't think I showed you this paper. I'll have to grab that. Of designer series paper. This is 1/2 inch by 4 inches. So let me show you the designer series paper we're using today, because it is a favorite. It is the Sentimental Christmas. This is our Making a Difference product for this mini catalog. So for every single pack of this designer series paper that's purchased, Stampin' Up! Will donate $3 to a children's literacy program in your part of the world. So I love that. But this paper is definitely vintage. All of the looks on here just make me smile. They bring back, so reminiscent of old-time Christmas cards. So it's the perfect paper to use for the card that we're making today. So after that little strip of DSP, we have a piece of pecan pie. And this is 3 3/4 by 5 inches. And I embossed this with the Birchwood 3D embossing folder. This is one of our huge embossing folders, guys. You can emboss your full card laid out flat. It is so cool. But we just need this small 3 3/4 by 5 inch piece. And can you see how that looks kind of vintagey? To me, it just was perfect for the card I'm trying to make today. We also have some designer series paper. This is from that Sentimental Christmas I just showed you, and we're going to be cutting out part of this. So I just trimmed around the section that I needed out of this piece of designer series paper so that I could keep the rest intact for what I might want to do with it. And it's so cute. These designs are so cute with the little deer. And then I wanted something to kind of match my card. So I took a scrap of, not actually a scrap, yeah, I guess kind of a scrap. I took a piece of, let's grab the scrap actually, of designer series paper. And this is from the Wildly Flowering paper from the annual catalog. And on the back of this piece with these beautiful flowers, it just has kind of a linen look of Misty Moonlight. And Misty Moonlight is my coordinating color today. So I chose to use this scrap to cut my pieces out of. Now let me show you on the back of the Sentimental Christmas, it has the coordinating colors. And Pecan Pie was in there, which I loved. But Misty Moonlight was not. It actually said the coordinating colors was Pretty Peacock for the blue. But to me, Pretty Peacock was just too bright for what I was trying to do on my card. So I swapped out the Misty Moonlight, and I think it works perfectly. So out of that scrap, we cut out a base of our snow globe, because we're going to be doing a snow globe, as well as several little snowflakes. And these all come from the Snowy Wonders dies. So in here are all these little pieces that match the Snowy Wonder stamp set, and we'll cut them out. But there's also this adorable little snowflake that I used, which is so cute. Just look at these. Aren't they so sweet? I love it. So I used that. And then there is the snow globe. So this is the base of the snow globe, and that is what I cut out right here. And then this is a large round snow globe that you can cut out to go on top, and we're going to use that in a second. And then there's also a tall skinny snow globe that will also work on that same base. So when I'm using this designer series paper, I want to get several of the cards out of it. So the bigger ones like this, I can cut out with the large snow globe, but then I can come back in between with some of these smaller ones and use the tall, smaller snow globe. And that'll give me more cards of this type out of this set. So I love that. I love the way that worked together. So we're going to have those pieces. I have a basic white scrap here for my sentiment. And then I am going to tie a garden green bow. And the bow is out of the Natural Tones linen thread that we talked about. So that's our products, guys. You know what we're using. And I have them kind of listed here at the top of my recipe for today's card. So let's get busy on this. I'll bring this back in later when our card is finished so that you can take a screenshot of all that information if you want to do that. Okay, so we have all our pieces. First thing I'm going to do is come in and put the inside of my card together. So I'm just going to take this strip. Now this is the back side of that same deer paper. And when I cut pieces apart, I end up with scraps. And I love the way these snowflakes look on the pecan. And since we're using pecan on the front, I think it's perfect for the inside of this card, just to add a little bitty accent to it. So we're going to come in here, put some seal down this strip, and I am going to lay my snowflakes a little bit from the bottom. I find that if I put it up just a little bit, it pops more. That white below it really makes it stand out. If you put it right against the bottom, you don't get quite as much pop on it. I'm going to flip this around. You guys have seen me do this before. And we're going to stamp our sentiment on the inside of here. So for my inside sentiment, again, this is from the Reindeer Fun set. I'm going to have the sentiment, may all your days be full of cheer. And I'm going to ink it up with pecan pie ink. And then I'm going to turn it upside down and stamp it. And the only reason I do this is that way, since I stamp my sentiments toward the top of that layer, I can get it closer to me and lined up better because it's toward me. And then you flip it around and that is done. Now I also want to add to this layer some cute little snowflakes so that it matches the outside of my card. So we're going to use Misty Moonlight for that. And the snowflake that I'm using is out of the Snowy Wonder set. And there's actually 3 snowflakes, a teeny tiny one, a medium one, and then a large one. We're going to use the medium one. And we're just going to add a little bit of snowflake. Whoa, I didn't do that very well. Let me see if I can line it up. Sometimes I actually can do this, guys. With these clear sets, I want to make sure I got the right one where I need it, that I didn't get the ink off. I just didn't push down hard enough. Sometimes in my being too anxious, I just don't push down firm enough there. Okay, so that's a little shadowy. Not too bad. I still kind of like it. We'll do another one up here. And then I'll come down here toward the bottom with one more. So there's some snowflakes to bring that whole layer together for your card and kind of tie it in with the front of the card. Let's just add that to the middle of our card right away while we're thinking of it. And then that part will be done. So the only concern with adding your things to the middle first is that you have to make sure when you do your card that you're opening it up the right way. Of course, you should always be sure anyway, so I don't think that matters too much. But now I can see very easily when I open it that this is the front of my card. I have previously, in my past, decorated the back of the card so that it opened up incorrectly. So just be aware of that when you're stamping. Doesn't happen too often, but I will admit it does happen. I think since we're stamping, I'm just going to stamp my sentiment right here and also the envelope, so we'll have all of our stamping out of the way. So I'm going to grab the Merry Christmas, which is also from the Reindeer Fun set. And we're going to stamp that onto this scrap of white. Now you could use a bigger scrap because I am going to cut this down. But that just worked perfectly. So we're going to put that on there. And then I'm also going to add this to my envelope because you know I don't like naked envelopes. So we'll put that right down there, just like that. And then I'm going to add a couple snowflakes also to my envelope. So hope you guys are having a great day. I hear that there's some snow coming into parts of the countries and it's really cold and blustery in some areas. So let me know how the weather is by you. I'm interested to know. This time of year, everything is so changeable, so you just never know what you might get. So I'm just adding a scattering of snowflakes to the front of my card like that, just to kind of pull the snowflake theme in. Now I know your address label will probably go over that, or you can write your address right next to it or under it. But I love doing that on the front of my envelopes. I just think when people go to their mailbox and they see an envelope like that, they cannot wait to open it up because they know something fun is going to be inside. Okay, let's finish our die cutting so that we can put our card together. So I'm going to grab my little mini cut and emboss machine. And hopefully I have it on screen where you can see this. And I am also going to grab my piece of designer series paper that I trimmed around. And by trimming around it, it also made it so I could use it on my cut and emboss machine, which works great. And we're going to place this snow globe die around those deer. And I'm going to try to move it up. Let's see. You just kind of have to play with placement on it. I think I'm going to do it just like that so that this little birdie down here shows really well. Let's use some washi tape to kind of anchor this in place so it doesn't scoot as it goes through and cuts. Put our other plate on top and run this through. All right, this out of the way, my plate's out of the way. So with this snow globe die, it is flatter on the bottom. So when you're adding it and cutting out your design, you want to be aware of that you want the flat edge toward the bottom. I'm going to pull off this washi very gently. I reuse my washi over and over, so by this point it's probably not super sticky, but I'm also still really careful because I don't want to tear that beautiful paper. So there is the top of our snow globe. So let's put this card together. I'm going to use this piece of the birchwood embossing. Now this is a 3D embossing folder, so whenever I have a 3D embossing folder, I am going to add my seal all around the back edge of this piece of cardstock. That just helps it stick down better onto my card, because those 3D embossing folders really give it a really deep embossing, and that can cause your card to just curl up a little bit on the edges here where it is. So I just put glue all the way around. You could also use Tombow and that would work great. Now this layer is 3 3/4 by 5, so it's slightly smaller than my normal layers would be. And I did that because I wanted more of that blue to show behind. It looks like I'm a little crooked. Let's see if I can pull that up and read. And seal is great about this because seal gives you a little wiggle room to come back and pull it up and straighten it. I love these two colors together. I wasn't sure I would till I pulled them out and played with them. To me, they had such a vintagey feel to them with the pecan pie and the misty moonlight together. I just think they're beautiful. I don't know why I haven't used them before together. I think they're gorgeous colors together. We are going to take our snow globe. I'm going to grab some dimensionals over here, guys, and we're going to pop this up. So there's that back design. Isn't that pretty? Those brown and white, brown side with the white snowflakes. I think that is such a pretty side also. I'm going to add quite a few of dimensionals to this because it is a pretty big piece and I want it to stand up on my card. So let's do 5 on there. I know for some of you that's not quite a few, but I tend to only go 4 on most pieces. So for me, it's quite a few. It's an extra. In fact, I think I'm going to do 6. I think I'm actually going to do 1 here at the very top to make sure that that stands up off of the card. And then we're going to place this onto our card front. And I'm going to come down from the top of my pecan pie here, maybe a 1/2 inch or so, and then center this side to side. Trying to get it straight because I want my snow globe to look straight on my card. And then we're going to take our snow globe base. So remember, this was just a piece of that floral paper, but the back side was that misty moonlight. I'm going to put that also onto my card. So we'll use a few dimensionals on there too. This is designer series paper, so it's not quite as stiff as your cardstock. So when I use designer series paper and dimensionals, I usually will put a few more just to make sure it holds it nice and firm. And then we're going to come down here and I'm going to lay that just over the very bottom edge of my snow globe and put that base on there just like that. So now we have our little reindeer snow globe image. Isn't that cute? Oh, love it, guys. Love it. So let's take our Merry Christmas. And I told you I was going to be cutting this down. If I just laid this on here like this, it just seemed too big and bulky for me. So we're going to trim it up a little bit. Nothing too fancy, guys, okay? So I'm going to come down here and right next to my M, I'm just going to go straight down and trim that off. And then I'm going to come across the bottom just below my letters, pretty darn close, like I was fussy cutting kind of. And when I get to the R, the bottom of the R here, I am going to swoop down and then back up. And then we're going to go straight across again once I get up closer to those letters. Straight across. And when I get to the S, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to come down just around the bottom of that S because it's lower. And then up to the top and trim that off. And then across the top of here, I'm just trimming a straight line. So that just makes it a little more delicate looking for this card. And I liked that look. I liked that kind of, I don't know, I just thought it looked nicer than the whole block. And now this is ready to go on to our card. So to place this, I'm going to take a mini dimensional right here. And I think this will fit behind our S. So I'm just going to place it right down here on this end behind the S. And then for the rest of this, it's going to go up on top of my snow globe. So for this, I'm going to leave about a finger's width because I don't know how much is sticking over. But over about here, I'm just going to start adding Tombow glue. Not a ton, just a little. Enough to hold it because it does not take much Tombow glue to hold your things in place. And we're going to place this coming off of my snow globe base, right kind of in the middle, and then over off to the side of my card here. So, oh, I think I forgot to remove. You got to take the backing off of your dimensionals, guys, or they don't work. You'd think I would remember that by now, right? Okay, doesn't matter because we're going to place this right back over the glue, so that doesn't matter. Come back in here and lay that and try to get that straight across. So there is our Merry Christmas on there. And the next thing I want to do is tie a little bow with that linen thread. Now again, this is our Natural Tones linen thread. It comes in a pack of 3 colors. I think it's Night of Navy, Copper Clay, and Garden Green, if I had to guess what the colors are, because it doesn't actually say it on there. But I think that's what they are. And we're just going to tie a little bow. Now, you know I love linen thread, and this linen thread, this colored linen thread is slightly thicker than our normal linen thread, but not much, guys. I still love it. It is beautiful. It is easy to tie, and I love the colors on it. We're going to trim those tails because I don't want them quite that long on this card. We'll take those right off. And I usually tie my bows right off the spool like that because then you're not losing as much excess twine. All I'm throwing away on that is this little piece here. So that's usually how I tie my bows. If I'm doing them for a class and you're tying them, then obviously I give you a strip. But you know, most of the time I tie your bows for you anyway. So we're going to come in here and put a glue dot right next to this Merry Christmas. Not a glue dot. We're going to come in here and put a dab of Tombow glue right next to that Merry Christmas. Just like that. And actually, since I have the Tombow glue out, I'm just going to quickly put some Tombow glue on the back of my snowflakes. Now, one thing I've learned with working with Tombow glue is you can let this glue sit there for a minute. And sometimes if you do that, you have a little better luck with it. It dries just slightly and it makes it a little less easy to ooze out, because that's the last thing you want, is for your glue to ooze out of your images. So you put very little on to start, but I'm just going to do these. I already did the one on the card for the bow. And they'll be fine. They will stick perfectly. So if you're worried about it oozing, put very little and let it sit just a minute. Gives you just a little bit more possibility of it not oozing out. Now what it will do is once it hits your paper, it's going to dry a little faster. So you're not going to have as much wiggle room as you might otherwise. So be aware of that. But just some tricks to try if Tombow glue gives you headaches, which I know it does for some people. Okay, let me grab my tweezers because I'm going to need that in just a second here. And I'm also going to grab an extra block because we're going to place this bow right on top of that glue dot, or dot of glue. It's not a glue dot, it's a dot of glue. And I'm going to set that block on it and give it just a minute for that glue to ooze into my bow and really adhere. And while that's happening, I'm going to take my tweezers and grab my snowflakes and we're going to place them. So I'm going to place one up here in the corner. Hopefully I'm still on screen. I'm going to place one over here, just kind of tucked in underneath my snow globe. Not very much. I want it to really show. And then my third one we can place over here, also tucked in just a little bit underneath the snow globe. And now this should be dry enough I can take that off. So let me make sure these are all pressed down very well, and they are. And then the last thing we're going to do is add just a tiny bit of bling. So I'm going to use my Rhinestone Basic Jewels. I've colored a bunch of these because I'm using a lot of them in red at this time of year. But for this card, because I'm going with the muted tones, I didn't want red, even though there is some red in these berries. I wanted just a regular little rhinestone gems, and I'm going to place them one in the center of each of our 3 snowflakes. Just like that. Now the thing with these is, let's see if I can get that on there with my finger and not. I better move it with my snips. The snips just helps with placement, guys. It lets me place it exactly where I want it. So I'm got these 3 on here and I think they're beautiful, and that's exactly the look I'm going for. But because these snowflakes have a little hole in the middle where the gems are lying, I want to be sure that they adhere really, really well. So I'm going to take my Take Your Pick tool with the lid on. You could use anything that's kind of flat like this. You could probably even use your block like that. And just push down right in the middle of these snowflakes to make sure that my gems are well adhered. Now I know some people sometimes put gems on the inside of their cards, and I've got to admit it looks really pretty, but I've found that when they go through the mail, they can get moved around, they can make bumps on the front of your card, so I tend to never put them in the inside of my card. I only put them on the outside. So I hope that makes sense to what I am talking about. Okay, guys, that is our vintage card. What do you think? I would love to know. I love the way it turned out. I am so happy with it. Let me show you the one I did for my prototype. It's really exactly the same thing, just a different reindeer image. So there's that one. That's one of the single images, and that was the one I tried first, and this is the one that I'm giving away today. I just love the look of them. They remind me of a little girl when we used to get Christmas cards at Christmas and hang them up, and I just think they're so pretty. So I hope you'll consider that Vintage Christmas Designer Series paper for some of your cards, especially because it is our giveaway, like I said, and we'll be giving back to literacy programs. So right now I'm putting my card that we made today, as well as the recipe for it that we made today, here on the screen. And if you like, you can take a screenshot of that. Let me make sure it's down far enough. I think it's perfect. A screenshot of that, and then you can duplicate this card because you'll know all the ingredients we used and the measurements. So, hope you liked it, guys. Happy you took a little bit of time out with me today. I hope you are doing something fun today. I hope you are doing something crafty. Don't forget to leave comments for a chance to win today's card, and I would love to hear what you're up to. You have till tomorrow night, midnight, to enter to win. I would love to have your business. If you're looking for a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator or products, let me know. If you're interested in joining my crazy stamping team, ladies team, let me know. I am here to be your creative coach. If you have any questions at all or want a catalog, reach out to me by email at crazystampinglady@gmail.com. I do plan to be back here on Friday. It'll be with my sketch challenge for this month and my take on it. So I hope you plan to join me then. That will be on Friday at my normal time, 10:30 a.m. Central Time. Till then, make it a great day and a great rest of the week. Bye-bye.